What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Trust the Tape.
My name is Jeff.
My name is Jeff, and that is Bryan Broaddus, former Cowboy scout man with the Super Bowl ring, by the way.
Hey, Bri.
Hey, Bri, how you doing this morning?
Good, Jeffrey. Thanks for allowing me a little latitude yesterday. I know you and I are usually a Monday, Thursday crew, but you allowed me a little latitude. I had some meetings I had to take care of, and I appreciate you doing that, and I appreciate the folks staying with us today on a Friday.
Big meetings guy, Bryan Broaddus now.
I was a big meetings guy. I was a big meetings guy. When you start your own business, you turn into meetings guy, and everybody wants a little bit of your time to, well, what do you think about this? And what do you think about that? And I'm like, okay, well, here we go. But I signed up, man, but I also signed up to do a show with you, and I'm excited about that.
Tell us about your meetings. What were we doing? What is this? Real estate? Are we knocking
Oh,
down
no, yeah.
walls?
It was Crown Global Media stuff. Appreciate folks out there. Thank you for the platform to allow me to talk about that a little bit. But yeah, just, our space is coming along really, really great. I got my engineering room, got equipment coming from Europe. I've got all kinds of things working right now. And you're trying to, I'm learning how to, it's almost like working a draft. You have to learn how to stage things. So like, carpet people don't cross with painters who cross with, so you're constantly, and I'm learning all about how you have to have what they call COIs. It's a certificate of insurance is what it is.
Of course. Yeah.
I'm learning about bids, and I'm learning about pay processes and stuff like that. So it's cool. It's very cool. And we're coming right along. So I'm very excited about that. Very excited.
Don't forget to get yourself some adapters, okay?
Yeah,
You want to have a lot of adapters ready for your headphones.
They're going to have them like a candy jar. So when you come in, you could grab an adapter and put it in there for you. Yeah.
I'll pull back the curtain for you in radio world.
That will take you down. If you don't have one of those, that will take you down.
It is the thing that you might think you have friends, and no one will ever tell you who took it. But your shit will get stolen if you
get robbed
in the studio. So you just go ahead and have 100 of them, so it's not worth stealing because people will steal them.
You will get robbed. You will get robbed for sure of that. But
it'll happen.
Jeffrey, we're about a month away. 4 weeks away.
Yeah, we're about a month away, and Ethan said we need to start a GoFundMe for my legal fees. I don't know what that's in reference to. Oh, it may be the Photoshop thing about the thick Latinas. It's best not to worry about that. Let's just move on with the show, Bryan. What were you saying?
I saw that in the comment section. I wondered what I missed.
Let me see if I can find it.
Did you pull a Charles Barkley on us?
No, one of our listeners took a guy who got arrested and photoshopped
your face.
And he did a really good job. Hold on, I should be able to find this. It shouldn't be hard. It's not too far back, I don't think. I give up. Go ahead. Just go ahead. Yeah. I give up. But yeah, I put my face on a guy who apparently broke into an ICE facility to try to free the thick Latinas.
Good for him. He knew what he was. You know what? Every once in a while, you have to have a purpose, a mission.
Yeah.
God bless that man for doing his part.
Yeah. And see, I didn't want to distance from the Photoshop. I'm like, look, I don't think I did it.
Oh man, especially if somebody does if somebody does the Photoshop the right way. We support that.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, if I ask you this question.
Yeah.
I come on this program and ask you this question. Let's talk about some players that might prove us wrong. People always in the comment section will say, oh, you guys are critical of these players.
Yeah.
You're critical. You're very critical.
Yeah.
Do you have any guys with a month to go? Like I say, we'll all be heading to Oxnard, California on July 21st. So about a month. Are there some guys on this team that are going to prove us wrong that you're thinking about right now? Because we've talked about plenty of them that have to have a great year. It's a prove it year. You're getting rid of them. We play that game where is there somebody that you're thinking about right now? Like, man, I keep talking somewhat negatively about this player's roster spot or how he's going to fit. And I'm going to end up eating crow on this one.
Bryan, I already gave you my Tyler Guyton now. I don't know if you've caught on to my Tyler Guyton hype train.
Yeah,
I've been the most negative Tyler Guyton guy from day one since he was drafted until the day.
I think Vaj has been negative too about it.
Okay. Until the day that he changed his diet. My guy.
Yeah.
Big habit changes. That's how you prove people wrong. My guy's ready. Dak talked about him last week. So now I take every single thing. Once I've decided somebody's going to be my project, well, every single thing that any other player says about him, I'm like, see, guys, more evidence right there. Whereas if it's not about a guy that I'm thinking something good's going to happen, I just say words are words. Everybody's in the best shape of their life. No one cares. But Tyler Guyton is my guy. That's my prove us wrong guy. I have a lot of candidates, but I'm trying to go with the one that I think there's a
it's a we've got about 25 minutes, Jeff. You can throw a lot of names out there and they'll bring discussion. I'm sure folks in the chat, if you're following along in the chat, throw a name or two. We always see names up there. Maybe it draws us to thinking about it a little bit.
You ready for my next one? Tyler Guyton, we already know he's going to be an all-pro.
So he's number one. Tyler Guyton, number one.
Tyler Guyton going to be an all-pro this year. That's number one. There's some hyperbole for you. I just want him to be a starting caliber left tackle. That'd be great. Number two, I'm not going to talk about. I'm going to allow you to talk about because I think you are the one who believes in this and that there's a decent chance of it. It would be wonderful if Kenneth Murray proved me wrong. And if Kenneth Murray showed up and was green dot leader of the defense, nice.
I like Kenneth. I like Kenneth Murray. I'm bullish. I am bullish on Cowboys linebackers. Unlike many that work in our industry, I am not give me the group you're confident in. Give me the group you're not confident in. I am not putting linebacker in the non-confident group.
Well, you are. So the DLLS Cowboys podcast is Team Sanborn. We are Jack Sanborn believers. So
there you go.
Kenneth
you guys
Murray,
are doing quality work. You're doing quality work over there if you're thinking Sanborn's going to help this team. I like this.
If your guy can come on along with our guy, we're cooking with something.
All right, here we go. Right. Alec Ventura gives us the Miles Sanders. Sanders.
Hey, look, I like it. I like it because I don't believe it. It would really surprise me because I think once running backs get washed, they're usually washed. But I support, and I'm hearing you people, Brian. What do you mean, you people? I'm hearing you people that are out there looking at practice like, hey, Miles Sanders got some juice.
Hey, I was not. It's funny because I went to the final, not the final practice. I went to the Wednesday practice, but I didn't see the Miles Sanders juice. I didn't see it with my own eye.
Oh,
I saw Elam. I saw Elam with and I was like, well, okay, I see what's going on here. I like this. But yeah, the Miles Sanders one, that is I think, do you think all the running backs, with the exception maybe Blue, are kind of under that prove me wrong?
Yeah. Oh yeah. If any one of them is good, like if somebody in that backfield averages over 4.5 carries as a lead back, I think that would be proving me wrong.
Yeah.
Because I'm not anticipating that.
Yeah. Dog's having a party today, huh?
I don't know. CD. Bro. What?
There's gotta be somebody out front moseying around.
CD, what are you doing?
How about
bro?
this one? How about this one? Anthony G on the chat. He throws Terrence Steele into this mix.
I'm down for it, Brian. I would love that. But I mean, I've made my new rule, and I have to break my rule in order to do this topic, kind of. But my new rule is you got 2 years, right?
Yeah.
After 2 years, I don't ever want to hear where you're drafted or whatever. So like Terrence Steele became an NFL starter. I no longer care that he was undrafted. That went away after 2 years. Now he's an NFL starter, and that's wonderful. Yeah. But the idea that he's going to be something different than what I've seen, where how long has he been in the league now? 6, 7, 8 years. Like he's been here a while.
I've got. They hand me a trusty sheet of paper that has all that information on it, Jeffrey. Let me do.
He's on contract number 2. If he becomes anything other than iffy pass protector, solid run blocker, that I think that would be quite an evolution for a guy that's been doing.
Year 6.
You're big. I'm a big year 6 leap guy. The old year 6 jump for Terrence Steele. I sure would be a fan of it. Omari's in the super chat. Question: when we judge running backs by yards per carry, why don't we judge wide receivers by yards per catch and amount of targets, since we only get 50 to 70 plays a game? I mean, you can judge people by whatever you want. I would rather judge a running back by yards per carry than total yards, because I don't care how many times you hand it to a guy. Like Najee Harris is the guy that if I ever meet him, I'm so sorry that you're always the one I talk about. You'll always get 1,000 yards if you get 300 carries. That don't mean you're good. It means they gave you the ball a lot.
Yeah.
Yards per carry is a way better stat than how many times did I hand him the ball. But we also have new stats. We got fun stats. How often do you break tackles? How many yards do you have after contact per attempt? Your offensive line matters a bunch. If you block your ass off, I promise you your running back's going to get better yards per carry. So that's why, that's why Jeff hates running backs. Jeff hates running backs because if I can't block, my yards per carry are going to be lower, and it doesn't mean I'm a bad running back. It means that I didn't have a chance. Saquon Barkley gets way better yards per carry at Philadelphia than he did in New York because they be blocking. So yards per carry is not a great stat, not a perfect stat.
Mario says he's all in on Brevin Spanford catching a damn pass to save his life. He's not all in. He says, I am not all in on Brevin Spanford catching a damn pass.
Can he not catch? So Brevin Spanford, tight end, is apparently that became a thing, a week or two ago?
He's a media darling. He's been a media darling.
I don't think he's just a media darling, and I'm going to tell you why. Because after
Are we going to owe him an apology then? Are we going to owe him an apology? Are you going to have a Crow Burger at the end of this thing?
No, I think Brevin Spanford, we're learning his name.
Crow steak. No crow steak?
No crow steak for Jeffrey. The fact of where it sounds like he is on the depth chart, and I'm not basing this off of just like, hey, we were at a mini camp and he took some snaps with the ones. But when I saw Jake Ferguson talking about their offense, and he was like, boy, it's going to be tough to cover all of us. And he named CeeDee and Pickens. And I'm like, right, yeah, that's the end of the list. And he's like, and then you got me. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, and Brevin Spanford. And I'm like, okay, so the starting tight end is naming his name when it comes to the receiving options on the team. So Brevin Spanford is going to be a player. He's going to make the team, and he's probably going to spend a lot of time helping either Tyler Guyton or Terrence Steele block. That's what's going to happen.
I just find it hard when I watch Spanford. It reminds me of somebody trying to learn to catch. It's like,
oh no,
that the hand, when you're like you're playing football you're out the tailgate, you're throwing the ball, and you always have the friend that can't catch. The hands are like really wide and not natural. Yeah, it's like you're clapping to get the ball.
Yeah,
and I always think like Spanford's hands are never where they need to be. They're always kind
perfect.
of.
That's great.
They're kind of a little too wide, almost like he's playing soccer goalie. Like he's gonna knock it down or parry it away. But
Brian, you're not making me optimistic about the Brevin Spanford.
I'm just saying this. That's the one thing with him that I kind of, and I have a tradition here on these channels where these tight ends will just block me on Twitter or something like that. Like it started with our guy down.
Dalton loves his block button, and so do I. So I support it. Yeah, you probably said something you shouldn't have.
Wow, it's crazy. But anyway, I'm sure Spanford, this will get clipped. Somebody say, "Oh, look at they're talking about your hand placement on." I'll say this, and I hope you clip this. If he does get his hand placement stuff right when, making himself available for target, because he's never going to separate from anybody. He's never going to be – it's always going to be a contested catch with him. So he's got to find a way to get the hands right so when Dak does hit him, he's able to secure it and then, get what he can out of the play.
Oh, Mari's in the super chat. What about over targets for wide receivers? Targets for wide receivers don't matter either. Listen, don't you worry about all the stats. You use whatever stats you like, and then we'll tell you which ones are important, okay?
What's the one you hate the most?
Stat? Rushing yards.
Oh, is rushing yards?
Yeah. When somebody tells me so-and-so rushed for 1,000 yards, I'm like, I don't give half a crap. So would you if they gave it to you 500 times. I don't care. What did you do on a per-play basis? I don't care about your totals. I just don't care. At least for like a receiver receiving yards, you earned them things.
Yeah.
You got open and caught the ball. Like a running back did not accomplish some feat by when they said hut, the dude handing it to him. You didn't accomplish anything. So however many rushing yards you had, I don't care. I care how many did you have per carry? How many do you have after contact? How many did you have over expected? Did you do a good job when it was handed to you? Not did they hand it to you? I don't care.
Floyd doesn't like the fact. He says, I'm not scout or anything, but I feel like the hands thing is being overrated, overplayed. Excuse me, overplayed.
We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out.
I will have crow steak.
This is Bryan. This is not a trust the tape take. This is a Bryan take. He said Brevin Spanford has ankles for hands. That's from Bryan Broaddus.
Yeah. Why don't you just throw on there too that I want him to get hurt along the way? That's another thing.
Not put that out there.
That happened. That happened to us, and it happened to us about McCaffrey. His mom called us, or his mom called us out at the Super Bowl. No, she was right. She was right. I mean, what the hell? But anyway,
you said he's ugly and he can't catch.
Ugly and can't catch.
Yes.
But yeah, Spanford though is a good one. If he does turn around, I kind of feel like too. Do you think people are going to eat crow burger on Elam?
I think he's a big candidate. I think he's a big, strong candidate because again, I go back to the new Jeff rule of football. After 2 years, I don't want to care. I don't care where you were drafted. Kyrie Elam, it's like, oh yeah, former first rounder. So he don't care where he was drafted. He ain't a former first rounder anymore. He's a guy that didn't work out in the city that he went and played pro football. And now he's going to a new one. And for the most part, when that happens, if you're expecting to get some revamped new player, you're going to be disappointed. But people like you, Bryan, you people. What do you mean, you people? People like you that have been out there all seem pretty positive about what they've seen from him so far. So I actually think he might be the top candidate.
He's the number one
in terms of likelihood that it does happen. Like Kyrie Elam is probably the guy that I have my doubts about that has the best chance to prove me wrong because it seems pretty universal that people like what they're seeing so far. But when you trade for somebody's bleh, and they're really happy that anyone gave them anything for them, generally speaking, you're not going to get some massive rejuvenation from that player. But it can happen with Elam. He's probably number one. Probably.
What do you think about Tolbert?
Oh, I think Tolbert's in the best place he's ever been in his life, Bryan.
Where he doesn't have to be the two?
I don't think he has to prove anything to anybody. I think that adding George Pickens is the best thing this team did by a mile because
do you think it helped all the wide receivers?
I mean, except ones who are going to be unemployed.
Are we going to owe Mingo an apology?
No, I'm not worried about Jonathan Mingo in any way, shape, or form. Whatever he does, if he's on, well, he'll be on the team. But whatever he does, if it's something that's awesome, I'll be surprised, but I'll be happily surprised. I anticipate
happily surprised.
Yeah, I'll be happily surprised.
What's happily surprised?
Well, you can be surprised in a bad way, like you're watching a movie and there's a jump scare. That's being surprised. But that's, I mean, if
are you happy with that?
I am not expecting. I'm not happy with that one. Happy surprise.
I'm not happy with your answer.
Jonathan Mingo, here's a guess at Jonathan Mingo's stats this year. You ready? 18 catches for 230 yards. Like, I expect very little from Jonathan Mingo. If you get something great, then I'll be happy and surprised. I'll be happily surprised. I think Jalen Tolbert's the third wide receiver. Cavante Turpin's doing the bits. And with CD and Pickens, now Tolbert can just go be an NFL wide receiver. That's all I'm asking you to do. I'm not asking you to be the man that when they're paying all the attention to CD, like, well, look, somebody's got to save us now. That ain't you. You just go out there when we run 3 receiver sets, run your route, and if the coverage dictates that the ball comes to you, I believe you're capable of doing this job. Jalen Tolbert is exactly where he's supposed to be because when they give all the attention to CD Lamb, I got a whole different MFer out there now that I can look out and be like, George, we're throwing that bitch down there, and George will take care of me. I don't need Jalen Tolbert thinking that he has to do that. Show up, run your routes, and if you're open, you'll catch the ball. That's all I need from you, Tolbert. That's all I need. Yeah.
Crow sushi on Mozzie Smith.
All right. Mozzie.
I just asked Crow sushi just yes or no.
We might talk about this today on the DLS Cowboys podcast, but we could jump on it right now. Jesse Holly brought it to my attention. The Cowboys, everybody likes to put out videos of like practices and things that are fun. If people are mic'd up, and they had this whole thing, and part of it was Mozzie Smith was in there because I guess I was the D-line coach that was talking to him. Whatever.
White Cotton, yeah.
And so they're running the hoop. And if you ever watch the NFL Combine, it's just a big hoop on the ground. And what they do
big hula hoop,
they want to see these players run in this circle, and they have a towel on the ground because they want you to pick up that towel, because that's how we show bend. Because you don't want to while you're running in that circle be standing straight up, because you're not going to be able to turn as fast if you're straight up.
Oh, did Jesse notice we were kind of upright running the hoop?
Yes, and didn't even make an attempt to bend at all and reach for the towel. Mozzie Smith just ran a circle. And the fact that the defensive line coach
White Cotton again
was yelling, "Yay, great job, Mozzie. I don't give an F about the towel." At the Combine, you'd have stopped him and told him to go back to the beginning. Like, are we just quitting on coaching him, or are we just being positive? Like, they were putting out what they thought was a fun, energetic video of their coach, and Jesse saw it, was like, bro, do you see Mozzie not even doing what they're supposed to do, and they don't even care?
So you're saying no crow sushi on this one then, huh?
I hope so, Brian. I'll be happily surprised if I do.
Happily surprised.
I sure hope to eat crow on Mozzie. I mean, no. I've seen Mozzie for 2 years. These are the Jeff rules of 2025. I've seen it for 2 years. I don't believe that he's ever going to be a good NFL player. I think that they need help at nose tackle.
You just need him to be good.
I just need to be okay, honestly.
Okay.
He falls in the Tyler Guyton category. If he's serviceable, that's fine.
If you're in scouting, and you've done this with me for a long time, and you use the word okay.
Yeah.
And aren't you kind of like not helping me there?
Yeah, you're not helping me. But if my team has no
How does this guy play? He plays okay. He plays okay. Yeah.
Okay becomes appealing when you go, guys, we don't have any. Here's our D tackles that are in camp.
Yeah.
None of them are any good. Okay would look real good up there right now.
By the way, I know a lot of people were talking about Justin Rogers getting let go, and then you add basically what you might have added was a 3 technique.
Yeah,
and you let a 1 technique go.
Yeah, it's because Jay Toy is a beast.
I was hearing that Justin Rogers wasn't fitting in all that well.
That's tough.
That's why it wasn't. Everybody was going like, wait a minute, you don't got any 1 techniques. Why are you putting a 1 technique on the street?
Yeah.
And I had a couple of different people in the organization say it wasn't a good fit for them, and they moved on. So what
does that mean? He was fist fighting somebody, or he wouldn't fit schematically, or nobody liked him?
I just think that it wasn't working out for all parties involved.
Oh, you want to do some Recky Specky?
Yeah.
You like reckless speculation?
Listen to this. They love Brian, but if a guy has 2 bad practices, he thinks they're in trouble.
Brian,
that's not true.
Brian, don't worry about it.
I just sometimes when people do that, I wonder. Do I really say that?
No,
Too bad. I mean,
nope. Nope. You don't have to acknowledge everybody that says crazy stuff.
That's why I own my own damn company right now. So I can say crazy ass shit.
That's okay. Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry to DC and SC for waiting for your super chat. What does Schott have to do this season to make disgruntled fans like me not hate Jerry for this hire? I mean, kick ass and take names, right? It's all the same.
Boy, you low hung fruit that one. Come on, give the guy a reason. Give him a reason. Give the guy a reason for why you would be, instead of saying kick ass and take names. Don't be that guy.
I mean, it's
Come
always
on, you're a professional broadcaster.
Okay.
Do better.
Okay. Shotty's really fun. You're all my bestie energy inspires his players to be the best versions of themselves every day, which prepares them better for football games. We never appear like we're not ready to go play on a Sunday. And on top of that, schematically, you start to feel like, damn, some of our guys are really open. The guy running this offense might have a good idea what the F he's doing. Oh my God, the running game looks a little creative, doesn't it? That was a nice little trap.
There you go.
Things of that nature, which leads to kicking ass and taking names.
There you go. I just like say, to me, if you see real sustainable improvement in this football team, if you see, if you can notice, and you don't have to be a scout or anything, but if you're watching the game and you're seeing guys get open because they run the play back, and Greg Olson tells us, watch this, watch what they did to create separation here.
He really put that linebacker in conflict there.
There we go. There we go. Just for me, I think this division think this division is going to be tough. I think the Commanders are going to be tough. I know Dallas had their number last year. Mike Zimmer did a great job against that guy. But I think this division is going to be tough. But you're going to have to find ways. Maybe sometimes you're going to have to trick people a little bit. Sometimes you're just going to have to go bully them a little bit. Just every week, give me something that I could say, boy, that was different than last week. That was the reason why they won this football game this week. You know, that's what I want from Schottenheimer. I want a coach that's willing to try and adapt to making his team better. And I know I'm not making this personal with Mike McCarthy. I made it personal with Jason.
Go after him. Go after him.
No, I made it personal with Jason Garrett. I'm absolutely not a fan of Jason Garrett at all.
Yeah.
And so I'm Mike McCarthy. I did not see creativity. I did not see a willingness to steal from a high school coach or a willingness to steal from a college coach or a willingness to steal from another NFL team. I didn't see that. I saw a tired, I don't want to do anything, I'm 60 years old guy. That's not Schottenheimer. I hope the youthfulness, the first-time head coach, I hope that's what we get. I hope we get a guy that's willing to say, well, I took that from this high school program in Cincinnati, Ohio. I saw this tape as a clip. It was amazing, this play they ran. And, you know, I think Ben Johnson's got a little of that. I think that's I think that's what the Chicago Bear fans are going to be seeing. Like a little bit of, well, I stole that one from a Pop Warner team, you know, that was playing in Maslin, Ohio, or you know what I'm saying?
Why are you picking these Ohio towns? Why Ohio?
They're good football. Play good football up there.
All right. I believe you.
Yeah.
I believe you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oop-de-oop. You ever seen the oop-de-oop?
The Oompa Loompas I've seen.
Well, the oop-de-oop is you put 4 receivers on one side of the formation, 1 on the other. You let them think, look at all the things happening over here.
And then throw it the backside. Yeah.
Now we got 1-on-1, baby. Yeah, that's what they ran in Varsity Blues out in West Canaan, Texas.
See, to me, that's what I want from my coach. Kick ass, take names. Absolutely true. I'm not going to dispute you, but I knew you had it. I knew you had it in you. You
thought I could find an actual answer if I took my time instead of just reading the moving on.
That gentleman wanted a real answer, and you kind of gave him a bad answer, and then you gave him a better answer.
I'm hungover. What do you want, dude? It was a long day at the lake.
Oh, really?
It was Juneteenth.
The lake.
It was the actual day of freedom in America. I was out there celebrating, honoring. I was honoring and celebrating an important date on the calendar, Brian. Shit. You know about lakes. You like lakes.
I was at the lake yesterday.
See? Yeah. Don't yell at me about answers. You know it's a struggle in the morning after a lake day. You know it's tough.
I'm just trying to help the cause, Jeff.
I appreciate you holding me accountable and making me actually answer a question, because I was absolutely just reading the super chat to make sure because it was a super chat.
I knew what you were doing, but when the super chat, what I'm learning about the super chat is these people want a real answer.
You need to honor the super chat. You need to honor and respect.
If you want the people to keep playing in the super chat, you better give them damn answers.
That's fair. That's fair. I just want to shout out to Dro Nose, who's clearly seen Varsity Blues. Jonathan Moxon, that's the quarterback. James Vanderbeek after Lance Harbor gets hurt. I don't want your life. That's John. All right, Brian, I want you to have the best day you've ever had today, okay?
I plan on it, man. I plan on it. I'm taking some pictures today, some like glamour shots for my website. You know, the collared shirt here, I got to button up and put on my bow tie, and so my website's going to have fancy pictures of me, and so everybody can laugh at me when they.
Oh, that's going to be so sexy. It's going to be so sexy.
It's actually Vach just making me dress up for this thing, the jackass.
That's hilarious. Yeah,
so we're both taking fancy pictures today.
Are you guys going to do the thing where they spin around in a circle and the different?
Like we're getting recruited.
Yeah,
like,
you and Vach.
Like my guy Brian Kelly. You know, when he was with that guy.
Yes, that's what we're looking for. Yeah. I can't grow up.
No.
I want to. I'm struggling. All right, everybody have a great day. Remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through.